G'day mate, 40 here, going up the Parramatta River from Sydney Harbour. Got on board the ferry at Circular Quay at the Sydney Opera House. Just wanted to take the longest ferry ride possible. Such a bargain, about $5 American at most. So, thinking about this Nick Fuentes meeting with Donald Trump. And Mitch McConnell says, anyone who has a meeting with an anti-Semite, he'll never be president of the United States. Just so silly. A lot of people have anti-Jewish feelings. Right? Anti-Semite rarely is an overall accurate descriptor for a person. Right? Very few people are primarily motivated by a critical attitude towards Jews. Well, some people are, but very few. I think Fuentes, may well be what he says, someone who's pro-Christian, right? So he has a traditional understanding that salvation is only through the church, and therefore people who aren't in Christ are lost. That was the majority Christian position. So team Kanye West, Nick Fuentes, while he stormed out at a Tim Pool interview. So we're not talking about the most stable people here. What is Nick Fuentes' history with working relationships? Right? They don't seem to last a long time. What is Milo Yiannopoulos' history in working relationships? They don't seem to last a long time. I'm not exactly sure about Kanye West's history, but he does seem to be quite a combustible, unpredictable, and difficult person. So I'm going to put an over-under on a month. Maybe these guys will still be working together in a month. So what's your over-under for how long these guys work together? Milo was working with that right-wing church that had been knocked off YouTube, and he interned for Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's all over the map for days. So Tim Pool is not exactly a harsh interviewer. So if you take offense at Tim Pool, then it may not be anything to do with Tim Pool. You might just have a problem with reality. Tim Pool makes some challenge to Kanye. He just storms off. And this is not unpredictable with Kanye. Yeah, what Tim Pool did was not agree with the Jewish question, and Kanye took offense. He didn't even challenge it, he just said he didn't agree. So, what do you think the upside is for allying with Kanye West? And you think this is a good long-term strategy? Right? Is this really the way forward for the distant right in America to get on board with Kanye West? Now, some people are just prone to drama, which makes them incredibly compelling live stream personalities. It makes them a lot of fun to be with. It makes them great entertainment at a party. But you don't want them checking the engines before the plane takes off. In fact, you don't want to get too close to them, because they will pull you into a whirlpool. And Kanye strikes me as the type of bloke who will pull you into his whirlpool of dysfunction. Milo strikes me as the type of bloke who will pull you into his whirlpool of dysfunction. And I simply don't know enough about Nick Fuentes, but let's just say he doesn't have a long track record of working together harmoniously with people. So there are a lot of people who it's great fun to meet with at parties. It's great fun to live stream with. but they're not people you want to build a life with. They're not people you want to organize with. Milo, Nick, Kanye didn't strike me as savvy political organizers. Right? They strike me as self-obsessed, self-referential, attention-seeking, me-first types. I'm not going to be able to work together for very long. So it's wonderful to be out in nature, to be out on the river. It just kind of puts everything in perspective. It's like looking up at the night sky and seeing the stars. That's something you can often do in Los Angeles because of all the smog. But get out in nature, get on the river, get those negative eons coming off the water, see the waves and those cliffs, the wildlife, vegetation. It's been here for thousands of years before you and will go on for thousands of years after you. Kind of puts things in perspective. And then you start thinking about hysterical attention seekers like Kanye and Milo, and it just seems amusing. And some things make sense when you're home alone on your computer hour after hour, going to whatever place gives you the most stimulation, to whatever personality is the most entertaining and compelling. G'day, Tim Humphreys. How are you, mate? I'm going to hit you up. I'll be up in Brisbane in a couple of weeks, at least for a few hours, so maybe I'll hit you up. So the type of people who are so entertaining and compelling and fun when you're home alone on your computer, but when you get outside, you get into God's nature, when you travel, when you see the water and the trees, right? They're no longer such a big deal. So some people wear well, like some people kind of awkward to get to know. They're laconic. So a lot of my friends are laconic, and they don't say a lot, but they wear really well. So with some of my friends, I do most of the talking, and I provide the drama. I may provide most of the laughs, and they may not talk a lot, but they're just solid citizens. Like, they stick at their job for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 years. They stick at their marriages for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They stick by their kids, stick by their communities, they stick by their families. So these laconic, low drama people, not the most exciting for a live stream, not the most compelling showbiz personalities, but they're just fair dinkum mates. So I don't know, or Kanye and Milo and Nick Fuentes, will they prove to be fair dinkum mates? Mateship's a wonderful quality. So American men in particular are going through a dearth of friendship at the moment, according to surveys. Maybe they got something to learn from Australian values of mateship. And this kind of me first, the same levels of self-promotion, like usually conducive to building friendships and community, anything that lasts. And Parramatta, right? This is the big smoke in Sydney after downtown. It's where you got the high rises, a concentration of energy and money. It's lower socioeconomic than the eastern suburbs. Still a lot of people, and this is where this ferry ride terminates. So woohoo, we're heading towards the Parramatta city centre. Have you ever spent a November in Parramatta? It's not to be missed, mate. Parramatta is just beautiful this time of year. How'd you like to live up there? Just overlooking all of beautiful Parramatta. So would you like Nick Fuentes as a neighbor, Kanye West as a neighbor, or Milo Yiannopoulos as a neighbor? So what are the temperatures here? The temperatures are about 70 degrees, so about 20 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Currumbung was great. So I walked all around Avondale College. I walked the track from our old home on Currans Road, walked the track, and then the bridge over the Dora Creek, right? It's hardly there anymore. The old tree that the bridge was built on was still there, but for about 8 feet it had to balance on approximately inch and a half width of wood. And luckily I managed to pull it off without falling in, carrying all my high-value electronic equipment. Thank you. Goodbye. So Avondale College looked in really prime shape as a Seventh-day Adventist college, and gorgeous squash courts. We've got a brand new gym from when I was there last. Like, all the facilities look top rate. I went back to my old primary school where I went for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And I need to tap off here. So hang on.